Hello and welcome again to Redacted Nuisance, that 10 to 15 minutes on the internet of me, Dr. J, basically going on a slight rant slash tangent slash mumble slash monologue. Well, of course it's a monologue because it's just me talking. Yes, of course it's a monologue. It's just me talking to you, the kind listener who is in some kind of parasocial relationship with me. So I'm Dr. J, use they as a pronoun, identify as queer, and my gender is transgressive, non-binary genderqueer, and I am a queer nuisance. Why is this called redacted nuisance and not queer nuisance? And simply because it is the only way to get something like this out on the internet without it becoming blocked or banned or falling behind some kind of banner, because queer is seen as a pejorative term. In some places, queer is also seen as a term that some parts of the internet would like to censor. So by calling it redacted nuisance, allows it to get further than it would otherwise, and its queerness is hidden away. Now, this is the second attempt, and you'll laugh because I record these without listening back to them, but thank God I listened back to what I recorded yesterday, not because of what I said, but there was a issue with the headset. I wear a gaming headset with a decent mic on it, and I had somehow managed to knock the mic so that it was almost on mute but not quite. And so it had some weird issues. So I've done some tests. Hopefully this will record back well. The whole idea of these is that I just sit and I think deeply, and I do think deeply about what I'm going to say. It may not appear so, but I have thought a lot about what I'm ambling on about. And then I record it in one take. I don't listen back to it. I don't edit it. I don't self-censor. This is me just monologuing and going for it. And if I decide later that it was wrong, I'll live with it. Because that's part of this weird experiment of, can I record 10 to 15 minutes of me talking without any input from anyone else, without any positive regard from anyone else to continue going. It's, can I focus on a subject and keep going and going and going and explore that subject in that kind of 10 to 15 minute rant. And part of the reason of not listening to it back and doing zero production is I wanted to try that out as an experiment and see if it worked. And we're now, this is number 25 of these. So obviously it's working for a given value of working. I know that I have some people who listen. I have some people who subscribe. I have some people who subscribe to me on YouTube. And I understand that going on YouTube is all about, I don't wish to become a video person. That's not me. It's much more, it's a space where some people listen to their podcasts, and I wanted to enable that. This primarily goes out on Substack, which then picked up on Apple Podcasts. It then goes on to Spotify. I really was in two minds of putting it up on Spotify, because Spotify gives money to people like Josh Rogan, gives money literally to people who don't want me to exist. And I'm like, I don't want anything in this relationship, but I know that it's also places where people pick up their podcasts, so I don't want to cut people off from being able to listen to this, which is why I've put it there. Why am I on Substack and not running a ghost server or something? Because quite frankly, I don't have the energy to run a ghost server. If you think I've got the energy to do anything, I would rather put my energy into this than my energy into the production side of this. And Substack allows me to basically produce this with the minimal amount of effort. I need to just upload this, put in a headline. You might notice I keep it as short as possible because I try to consider what I'm doing. And actually, I might call this the metacast, because it's about itself, so it's metaing on meta. I also tend to forget to do the simple things that you should probably do, like add taggies and tags and stuff like this, because I figure you'll find it or you won't. And if I tag this as LGBTQ, or gay or queer, it means that some people won't see it. Or some people will be ashamed to see it because it's like you're listening to this thing and you're curious about it. You're curious about what queer is. You're curious about what this means, what this identity, this politics, this whole notion means, but you don't wish to out yourself. You are not yet comfortable with that notion of what you might be, or you're not comfortable with even exploring. You're not even sure that that's what you are. Um, and you may very well not be that. I'm not saying that everyone who listens to this is queer. Um, if you are, you're welcome. If you're not, if you don't identify as queer, you're welcome. If you're figuring out what queer is for you and your identity, you're welcome. If you're a hater, why are you here? I don't hate you. I don't care. Um, do I care? Do I care what my haters think? No. Do I care what other queers think? Maybe slightly. Do I care that this might reach somebody and get them to think about something in a slightly different way? Yeah, that'd be cool. Otherwise, yeah, that's why I don't do the standard thing of like, comment, subscribe, do the thing, because I'm like, yeah, if you comment, I'll probably find it about 3 weeks later. Um, if you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. I'm not really going to change what I'm doing because I don't have the energy to do so. So, this being the meta of the meta, one, I recorded more than one yesterday. They were all trashed because the sound just went weird. I'm going to do a test after this one and just make sure it's all good before I go and record a couple more. So how do I do this? Maybe I think about things. I think of a topic. Generally, when I'm walking from point A to point B around London, because I do a lot of walking. Not because I hate TFL, but I don't like being on buses or tubes at the moment. I find they set off my hypervigilance a little bit. I feel safer walking. That may seem insane given the roads I walk down and the areas I walk in. I don't quite get it myself, but I feel a little bit safer walking and a little bit saner walking. So walking is good. I walk for like an hour or more to and from spaces. If it's more than that, I'll probably catch a tube. Um, but I find it. I find I walk, and during walking, I will think about things. While listening to other stuff, I'll be prompted to think about something, and I'll leave myself just a one line. This is the thing to talk about. And then when I get a free afternoon or a free hour or so, I sit down and I record some of these and stack them up. Um, so literally, this is taking less than, like, if this takes me 15 minutes to record, it takes me about another 2 minutes to do the production and get it up. This is not a well produced podcast, and I thank you for putting up with that. There's a podcast I listen to that talks about its reassuringly low production values. I think I'm setting a new low bar here from that. I used to do something similar actually. I used to do something similar under Absolute Queer Photography. I used to record it in my car on my phone, sitting outside a club. I'd just record them as voice notes, just on the phone speaker, and then upload them into an RSS feed. God only knows where they've all gone to. I can't find any of them. They're probably around. Probably somebody has them. This was prior to the days of good RSS feeds into Apple Podcast. I think I managed to get it into Apple Podcasts. I don't think I managed to get it anywhere else because the platform that I was putting them on was a WordPress platform, self-hosted WordPress platforms. Yay, they're great, but honestly, I do not have the time or energy to pour into it right now. So I record it, I produce it, and it goes up. And I stack them up so that I don't feel any pressure to do this. Because the last thing I want to feel is that I have to do this. I just want to do this because I can, because I do, because I've made the space. and it allows me to talk about stuff that I feel is important that may not be being talked about or is not being heard, or I think I have a my tuppence my tuppenneth worth is worth listening to. Um, and I appreciate anyone who sticks around and listens to this. Um, you're great. Thank you so much. I'm what else is there about this? So I think about things. I come. I take a bit of time of an afternoon. It's a rainy afternoon today. I've got a very nice um, cordial that I picked up from Neil's Yard in Borough. It's a cola. It's very it's nice. Oh, it's nice, and it's not reminiscent of Coke or Diet Coke, which I drank for ages. And I don't drink any kind of drink like that anymore. Because boycotting for Gaza, and boycotting any brands that outright support Israel, or support the IDF. So no Coca-Cola for me, thank you very much. Using up the last of this store cupboard that's got Schweppes before I move on to other brands, and we'll be doing a little. Well, at the time when I bought some of this stuff, um, uh, the latest the genocide. I was trying to think of the right word. The latest genocidal actions in Gaza had not taken place, so therefore buying Schweppes was kind of like, it's on special. Now it's like, no, you could not pay me to drink that. Um, I am, I'm quite quietly drinking my way through. So yes, that does give an idea of how old some of the stock cupboard is. And yes, it's well past its best by date, probably well past its use by date as well, but sodded, it still tastes good. So I'm sitting here with that on a rainy day, just babbling away to you the same way as I would if you were sitting in the room. Um, yeah. So thank you for hanging around. Appreciate it. Uh, some of them will make a bit more sense.